What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Night Terror's The Flash, issue number 1. So far, what we have seen is Insomnia, the villain that has struck the world. He has forced the entire world into an eternal slumber. This includes all the heroes and all the villains, because he is searching all of their dreams for the Nightmare Stone. If you want to follow everything that's happening with Insomnia, I highly recommend that you check out the playlist. It's gonna get you caught up on all of the one-shots to include individual characters like Batman, Green Lantern, Ravager, so on and so forth. But in this issue, we are gonna be focusing on Barry Allen. The Flash has been put to sleep, and we are now going to see what the Scarlet Speedster's nightmares are all about. What does the fastest man in the world fear? What does he see when he closes his eyes? And is he fast enough to stop it? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we jump into the Flash's nightmare scenario, we pick up with Barry getting a phone call, with Iris on the other end, letting Barry know that he needs to get here and he needs to get here now. Getting there in a flash, asking what happened. Iris is letting him know that Jay said Wally took on Grodd all by himself. Jay coming into the room. Jay Garrick letting it be known that this happened on his watch. That if he had been faster, if he hadn't blown out his ankle, he might have been able to stop what happened. Grodd had gotten hold of the Spear of Destiny. He was using it to amplify his telepathic abilities. And when Wally got in his way, they say that Wally slowed down, telling Barry that he needs to go see him, that Wally has been asking for him. When Barry goes into the room, we see that Kid Flash is in a very rough spot. The doctors can't stop the bleeding. Wally's metabolism is a three-ring circus, too fast and too slow at the same time. There is a turbocharged infection rotting away his organs. Looking at Wally, he sees that he is nothing more than a kid, asking himself, what was I thinking? Why would I have ever let him put on that costume in the first place? With Wally barely able to breathe, he is apologizing to Barry for going too slow. But he says it was the Speed Force, that something is all wrong with it, that there was some kind of monster in the lightning. This is what takes us over to Iron Heights, picking up with Warden Wolf. He has come to see Gorilla Grodd. He has come to ask, what did you do to Kid Flash? The way that Grodd sees it, he had the Spear of Destiny. He was using it defensively, fully expecting it to hit air. But then Wally slowed down, saying that it was an accident and nothing more. With Grodd angering Barry, we see the Flash phase through the cell. In a fit of rage, he begins just laying down some hate. He gives Grodd one heck of a beatdown. And Barry looking at his fists, blood all over the place. Grodd's face beat the heck in. Barry is recognizing that this isn't him, that he doesn't do this, that all of this is upside down. Linda, the Warden, Wally's costume, with Barry taking off. He takes off to the Justice League Watchtower. Walking into the Watchtower, this is where he is immediately hit by Hal Jordan, with Hal apologizing, saying that nobody ever really comes up here anymore. He figured it was a bad guy, but when Barry looks up and he sees Hal, but this is not the Hal that he remembers, with Hal going on to say that he saved the world. All the way back in the Final Night issue number 4, he absorbed the Sun Eater, and though it killed him, his heart had stopped, but his will wouldn't quit. And so now he looks like this. He looks like this monster. But Barry is here so he can go back, saying that he needs Hal Jordan's help to do so. He steps onto the cosmic treadmill, and Barry runs. With Hal Jordan holding the cosmic treadmill together, Barry runs as fast as he can. He knows that something more is going on, that someone is watching him. An unease grows over him as he enters the time vortex. It's almost as if the Speed Force is resisting him, as if there is something that it didn't want him to see, something obscene. With Barry breaking through, he arrives in Keystone City in the past, when Grodd had Kid Flash in his grasp, and he knows the implications of being here. He knows that stopping this could ruin everything. While Wally does his best to fight against Grodd, Barry simply watches. He waits to see this monster in the lightning. But as he watches Wally do what he does, he has to admit at how glorious it is. As the moment approaches, Wally should have sidestepped one of these punches very easily, looking around for the monster, risking everything by coming here, whole universes. He has to believe that this monster in the lightning is real, or else all of this was for nothing. As Wally rushes in, the very moment we see Barry running in, regardless of that monster in the lightning, he refuses to let anything happen to him. He had promised Iris, he had promised Jay, he had promised himself. Barry acts, but he fails at the same time. Looking up, Wally sees Barry Allen, but Barry can't speak, moving faster than his own voice. He can only console him. Wally asking, "Did you see it? Did you see it in the lightning?" With the Speed Force clutching at Barry Allen, it drags him kicking and screaming. But in that moment, he sees it. In that moment, he sees Wally's monster. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I was personally hoping that this was going to be the nightmares of Wally West, but it makes sense that it's the nightmares of Barry Allen. And this nightmare scenario was done perfectly. When you ask what is the Flash's biggest fear, it's not being fast enough to save the ones he loves. And so of course, this manifests in nightmare state. We are seeing this play out perfectly. He wasn't there to save Wally. Wally on his deathbed, Barry goes back in time. And though he tries to prevent the death of Wally West, he is unable to stop the spear. But in not being able to stop it, he was able to see the monster in the lightning. And now the next issue is going to be Barry Allen hunting him down. We can only assume that this monster is Insomnia, that he is searching the nightmares and dreams of all the greatest heroes. It would make sense that in the Flash's dreams, Insomnia can use the Speed Force in some capacity. But this issue was both heartbreaking and devastating. We saw Barry Allen do things that he would never do. We saw Hal Jordan as a monster, Linda never existing, and we see the demise of Wally West. This is Barry Allen living out his nightmares, seeing them clear as day, and unable to save the life of Wally West. What will become of the Flash once he catches up to Wally's monster? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories, if you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Night Terrors. Be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.